I'm Amy from Doodle Dog Designs.
Today I'm going to make a peppermint candy stick bundle. This is going to be fake peppermint sticks. And what I'm going to use is some warm and natural quilt batting. And I'm going to use some paint. And I have 1/2-inch PEX tubing. It was a piece that was left over from a recent plumbing project that we did. And I had it cut into 3 8-inch pieces, and it is about 5/8 inch in diameter. And really, for this, you could use anything that's long and skinny and round, the size that you want your peppermint sticks to be. So you could use a dowel rod, old broomstick handle, whatever you have. You could even use wrapping paper tube. They would be a little bit thicker of cinnamon sticks, but those would be neat. Whatever you have lying around the house. If you do have to go and buy some of this, so it's not too terribly expensive. So I'm using Mod Podge, and I'm just using it as a glue. I'm not going to put it over the top of the project, but to attach the tubing to the warm and natural batting. So I'm going to put some glue, Mod Podge. You could really use any glue here. I just like the thin consistency of the Mod Podge. And I'm going to then wrap it around the tube. I want to start at one end of the tube, and I want to leave a little bit of overhang over the top all the way around, and that way I can close that top up and cover up the ugly hole there. And then I'm going to work my way down in a spiral, trying to overlap the fabric as little as possible. I get to the end of my strip of batting. I'm just going to add another strip right there where I left off. I'm going to set these aside to dry, and while those are drying, I'm going to work on painting the stripes. So I've cut more strips, but these strips I cut 1/2 inch wide. And I'm going to paint these fabric strips with some apple barrel red paint. So I'm just going to paint directly onto the fabric. And I want some of it to show through still unpainted. I'm going for a more country primitive look here, so I don't want everything to be just perfect. Everything is dry now, so now I want to add my stripes onto my sticks. I'm again going to use some of this Mod Podge, and I'm going to add some to the end of my stick here. And I'm going to close that in. Do that on both ends. Now I'm going to add some of the Mod Podge to the back of my red striped fabric. As I wrap it around, I want to make sure that my stripes are about equal distance apart. All right, I've got just a little bit of water in my paint tray here, and I've got some brown oxide paint. I want to mix in a little bit of paint, just a couple drops. Looks like a really thin hot chocolate. And then I've got a old rag. You could use a paper towel. I like to cut up old t-shirts that are stained and holey and use them as rags. So I have one of those, and I'm going to dip it in my liquid paint here, and then I'm going to dab it onto my peppermint stick. Needs just a little bit more paint. I'm doing it this way because I want to add a little bit of an aged look to it, but not a whole lot. You can see the difference between the two here. Now I'm going to set these aside and let them dry. I might have to add a little bit more Mod Podge to that one right there. So I have these really cute graphics that I got off of Etsy a couple of years ago, and I've sized it down to the size that I want. It's a little bit larger than 2 inches, and then I cut a red cardstock square just a little bit bigger than the cutout, and I'm just going to use some glue, the stick glue, to put the two pieces together. And then I'm going to punch a hole. Now I have my 3 candy peppermint sticks, and I've got some thin jute, and I'm going to wrap it around, and I've got my sticks stacked together. I'm going to use some thinner jute here to tie the tag on. Then I've got a couple of pieces of greenery I'm going to add to it. I'm going to make this just a little bit shorter. And I'll put my greenery in here and then tie it all together.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.